In other news tonight, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to begin dismantling the U.S. Department of Education.
The move makes President Donald Trump the first president in modern history to try and close down a cabinet-level position. The order instructed Education Secretary Linda McMahon to take, quote, all necessary steps to facilitate the closure of the Department of Education and return education authority to the states.
Our ABC 17's Mitchell Kaminsky joins us live in Columbia tonight after speaking with school district officials today. Mitchell, there is still a lot of uncertainty about how these changes will affect local schools.
Yeah, Megan Lucas, Michelle Baumstark of Columbia Public Schools says the district is watching the developing information on how the federal government will be structured. CPS Superintendent Jeff Klein also tells me how while it's unclear of what that structure will be, the district is still considering what different options might look like.
Today we take a very historic action that was 45 years in the making. In a few moments, I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all.
Thursday marked President Donald Trump's first steps towards dismantling the Department of Education. However, completely shutting down the department would require an act of Congress. The White House argues that since 1979, the Department of Education has spent over $3 trillion, which has resulted in poor math and reading scores for students across the country.
That fundamentally the way this would work is trying to push more of the federal dollars to the states. I think the states can figure this out better than the federal government.
States mainly depend on local taxes to develop and approve school district budgets. CPS receives roughly 6% of its money directly from the federal government, while more than 60% of its funding comes from the taxpayers. However, there is still some uncertainty in the state as to how the cuts will affect things like Title I funding and special education.
Obviously, there's a lot of concern that's expressed and felt in terms of, what this means for us both financially as well as programs. But it's not 100% clear exactly what that ends up looking like when that gets brought down to the state level.
The Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education told me today that it's still awaiting more information to understand how these changes may impact funding administered by DESE. Reporting live in Columbia, Mitchell Kaminsky, ABC 17 News.
Mitchell, thank you. ABC 17 News reached out to several other school districts in our area, but have yet to hear back.